Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world and that you're enjoying your weekend or the start to your weekend and that all is as good as it can be given the state of things. Well, today we're going to talk about eyeshadow. It's uh, what happened here? Yes, eyeshadows. There's been a lot of talk about, different colors and all that sort of thing. Well, we're going to talk about the hype, the reality, and simplicity, and where and how to use color, and then how to load your brush. So it's a full in-depth issue over eyeshadows. And of course, then we'll be followed by our Q&A afterwards. So, stepping right into the breach here, what is the hype about eyeshadow? Well, color. Color seems to be a big thing. Do you ever go through a store and everything's laid out just beautifully? It's so enticing. They know exactly how to market to us. We see all kinds of colors, but when you really look at them, they're very pretty and they're well laid out, but when you really look at them, how many of these colors can we wear? Not very many, it seems to me. So, and aside from these, there's also the shimmers. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, it's like eye candy. It's like bubble gum. It's like stuff when you were a kid. It's like makeup bling, right? It's so pretty, but it's pretty in the palette. That doesn't necessarily mean it's pretty on the face. But those are the things that entice you to buy. It's like lipsticks too. We buy because we think the color is so pretty. And it is, except it doesn't necessarily work on the face, especially for the older femme fatale. Now, the reality. Neutrals really are the way to go. They they can do so much more. Example, I'm wearing only neutral, as I always do. So it keeps life simple and easy, and if I want to pump it up, I can. But this is just neutrals, the colors that I always wear. That's really the best for us at this stage. Okay, so how can we make that simple for us? Here, some of you have seen this before. These neutrals that are good for most people, especially the 45 plus group. There's a carbon, and these are all MAC, and the reason I picked MAC is because it's easily accessible to most people around the world, and and if you're not close to a store, you can always order online. So that seems to be the easiest. The carbon that is if you're looking at the screen, I believe it's on your far left. That's the black. Omega is a very light version of Coquette, the one next to it, which is kind of like a taupey, in the taupe family that suits most people. And then you have your classic Brun next to that, which is a classic true brown. No undertones in it. It's just a true brown. Next to that is my favorite, Print. It's a wonderful medium to dark gray, and you can go light with it. My eyebrows, by the way, I use a Print dupe, but I apply it very lightly. And next to Print is Scene, which is a lighter version of a gray. Now, for those with lighter hair and that sort of thing, your Scene and the Omega mixed together work well. The Coquette and the Brown mixed together work well. The Print and the carbon mixed together work well. In fact, all these colors work really well together. That's the simplicity. That's all you need. Believe me, that's all I have in use, except stuff that I still have from my professional kit. This is my own palette. You've seen this many times before, and I've got a movie coming up in a couple of minutes about how I load my brushes. But what's great about this particular palette is I can put my three foundations. The one foundation is the color that matches my skin. The lighter foundation is I use for as a highlight, and the darker foundation I use as a contour. Then I have a pink and an orange that I use for blushes. Then there's a white shimmer and a kind of a bisque colored shimmer. And then there's the blacks, the browns, the grays, and the taupes in the eyeshadows that I use. A palette is really the best way to go. It's cost effective, environmentally friendly, and it saves you money. Now, here's a quad pack that you can get at MAC. And what's great about these is you can put any color you want in it. Why is this important? Because when you buy these great big ones, you know, that have all these colors that you may only use 2 of, the rest is a waste, isn't it? Whereas with a quad pack like this, even if you have one that you use more than anything else, when it's worn out, you can replace just that one and not have to buy a whole kit. And here is another, like a quint pack. Now that's blacks and grays and stuff, but you can put in whatever you want. More companies are getting smart, and they're making palettes and things that you can buy the pans for and just use what you need. So that makes it really simple, very cost effective for your pocketbook, and very environmentally friendly. Okay, so now we're going to go to where and how to use color. Classic colors are what's important in the 45 plus group. Is classic colors are like your blues and greens and purples, aubergines, that sort of thing. You don't want to go red, you don't want to go light green, you don't want to go orange, you don't want to go pink, you don't want to go... One of the things that we have to pay attention to at this stage of the game is our eyes, for many of us, can become quite red around here or on top, or any number of skin disorders that can happen. The eyes can become quite pink or red. Well, if you add pink eyeshadow, it's just going to exacerbate that. You don't want that. You want to, cover it over. So, and when you're thinking about neutral colors, these colored colors work with most people. Now, your deep blues and your navies. Here's a couple of examples. Now, what I love about these is that they're classic. They will serve you so much better than any lighter shades of blue. They truly will. Lighter shades on younger women work better than lighter shades on older dolls. Then we have the forest, olive, emerald green, and teal family. And here's an example of an emerald green and a teal. Now, it might not, show up on your computer because, computer screens are quite different from one to another. So what you might see in a color on one screen may show up a little bit different on another, but I'm giving you it as an example of, kind of what to aim for. And then, of course, we have the eggplant, aubergine, and dark purple colors here that are, they're just classics. And the one, you can see a little bit of shimmer in that too. Now, this is where shimmer can work okay. Now, what I wanted to do here was I need to remove something and add this. There. Where can we put these colors? Well, along the lash line. If you just go along either above or with your lash line on the top here. The other thing that you can do is add a dot above your pupil on your eyelid and below your pupil down here. That's another way to do it. And you can also line mixed in with your the liner that you would normally wear, mix it in here, add it in, put it maybe even into the waterline, and then maybe you can, if it's a matte finish or you're very light-handed with your brush, you can deepen the ends of your eyes and put it in, in that kind of V shape there, just depending. And that's all you need. That's all you need as far as color is concerned. Like I said, I've used I've got palettes full of color. I never used it except for face painting or when I did the Halloween stuff, last year. Don't know if I'll do any this year or not. But color really needs to be reined in. While it's beautiful in flowers on the walls and things of that nature, it's not necessarily on your face. We weren't born with all these colors on our face, were we? The whole idea in aging and looking our best is to strengthen, and you don't strengthen with color. You strengthen with neutrals. It's like building a house. You don't paint the walls before the foundation's up and the walls are up. You don't wallpaper with just the studs there. Does that make any sense? So from an architectural perspective, you do the same thing with your face. Once you've got your makeup on, as an example, I have my standard neutral makeup on. Now, you know what? I probably wouldn't do anything else anyway if I was going out. But if I wanted to, I would take maybe some of that teal, and I would put some just along here, but I'd blend it big time and in here. If I were wearing something in the teal family, and here's the other thing, your wardrobe speaks strongly to the color. If you're wearing color on your face, eyeshadows on your face, it's your wardrobe actually sets the tone for what you're going to wear. Because if you don't work with your wardrobe, then what you're doing is you confuse the eye. And then people are having a hard time trying to figure out kind of what to focus on. Whereas if you make things streamlined, simple, and classic, they feel, I don't know, somehow solid in your presence. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, now I'm going to show you a little movie about how I load brushes. So let's get it started. Okay, I'm using a flat-edged angled brush here. I'm going to be dipping into my my color for eyebrows, which is the Print Dupe. And notice that the flat-edged angled brush is flat and sharp. Now what I'm going to do here is just touch it once, twice. Then I'm going to take that and apply it to my eyebrow and then touch again, once, twice. I don't do the swirl, I don't stir the cauldron, I just dip it in. That's all that's necessary. And when you're trying to apply in a light way, that's what you do. Now for my eyeliner, same kind of brush, sharp, thin, fine, and I'm going into this pewter gray, and I'm going to touch and cross. So I'm going to just slide it across. So touch and slide, because my eyeliner I'm putting on is going to be heavier. Now, for in the corners of my eyes, I use a wider dome brush, and I go into the highlight foundation, which is a shade or two lighter than my foundation, and just touch a little bit on both sides on the flatness of the brush. And then I do a sweep across on the shimmer and then apply that into the corners of my eyes. And when I'm doing the crease of my eye, I use again this 30-year-old fluff brush, and I dip it into the Brun dupe and the Coquette dupe here, depending on how dark I want it or how light I want it. If I want it lighter, I use the Coquette. If I want it darker, or I want to put it darker in some places, then I put more of the Brun on the brush and then apply where I need to. And now for my blush, this old brush, the handle's missing, but the brush still works beautifully. I just tap a couple of times into the blush, and sometimes I mix it with the orange, sometimes not, and then a couple of taps into the shimmer so that it gives me a slight sheen to the edge of my eye, and then that gives me everything I need. So I hope that that's helpful for you. I just have to bring up your comments here. I hope that that's helpful for you, and if it's not, we'll talk about it now. So, Rita Sharp, hello. Love the top palette. Yes. Simmer Song. Let me just bring this up. Where did it go? Now that's strange. I'm having trouble here. I don't know. Oh, there they are. They're all over there. Sorry. Oh boy. Okay. They went. I'll just remove a couple of these and enlarge your other. Whoop, not that one. This one. I'll get it right. Simmer Song. I totally agree with all those bright primary colors and shadows. Thank you. Thumbs up to you, Simmer. Wonderful. And Kathy Kitterman. Love neutrals. I have 3 or 4 singles I use anymore. Yeah, exactly. And doesn't it make life easier too? And Val Clements, hi from, whoa, I keep missing the wrong one. Let me get this right. Sorry. Val from Grand Bend. Hi, Val. Nice to see you. Okay. And then we have James Werner. This is truly Kathy. I can't get my son's name off here. Okay, no problem, Kathy. Hi. And Lassiter Lynn, good morning from West Virginia. Hi, how are you, Lynn? And Samar has another question here. Do these neutrals also work for those with olive skin? Absolutely. This absolutely they do. Now, as you move into darker and darker shades of olive or into caramels and into blacks, then you're going to change it up a little bit more. You're going to go deeper. Now for our black beauties, they will take a little bit of a different approach. They can wear color much better than we can, but their colors still aren't bright if they want a classic look. They can add a little shimmer, like bronze and things of that nature look really good on them too. So yes, it's a question, but you have to be, you just have to think about it a little bit. And Sharon Latour, hi, nice to see you. And we have Lisa Hardy. Good morning, Sharon. I have chronic dry eyes and use moisture drops. I also use hypoallergenic cosmetics. What are your suggestions for dry red eyes? Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't suggest. I would, however, suggest you speak to your doctor or your ophthalmologist because it could be any number of things, and I'm not medically licensed to advise. Sorry. Check your diet, though, because, as we age, diet really does play a big role in how our skin looks, how our nails are, what our hair is like. Diet really does. And, you've heard this. Exercise. Exercise is important. Why? Because it oxygenates your blood, which feeds your cells. So that's really important. And sleep, rest, of course, is essential. 8 hours, however you can get them. And of course, when you're retired like I am, all naps are legal. Yippee! So, and here's another thing that is not paid too much attention to, and it needs to be, and that is how you manage your stress. Stress affects us in all kinds of ways. So take a look at those factors and also check with your doctor. Let's see. Kathy, she asks, do you ever wet a brush for any applications? Thank you, Kathy. Yes, I do. If you want a stronger application for let's say your eyeliner, but I would only do it for eyeliner and eyebrows. You can either wet or just dampen your brush with water and then dip it into just one little area of your eyeshadow and make that the dedicated spot, because if you wet it anywhere, you're going to end up caking your powder and it's not going to perform as well. So dedicate, just a section of your pan for that purpose. The other thing you can use is eyeliner sealant. Again, you can dip your brush in, or you can add eyeliner sealant afterwards. For eyebrows that are thin, sparse, and missing, you can whatever application method you find works well for you. Mix the eyeliner sealant with your powder, and again in a dedicated spot, and then apply in brush-like strokes. And where you have no hair, it waterproofs it, okay, so that it will stay. I love eyeliner sealant for that very purpose. It's really good. Thank you, Kathy, for that question. I hope that answers it okay. Let me see, Rita Sharp says, my eyebrows are very sparse. I will try a gray shadow as the brown ones are too harsh. Absolutely, Rita, thank you. Yes. And for those that are in transition, going to gray hair, there's a transition period. So whatever color you were using with your hair that's like down here, you want that plus whatever the hair is, whatever shade of gray or white or pewter or salt and pepper is coming in for up here. And you want to kind of mix as you go along. What I did, because my hair was brunette, I was using a slightly red-based eyeshadow because it went with my hair, because my hair was auburn. As my hair started to grow, I started to add in, first of all, a Coquette. I worked with a Coquette for a while, a real taupey color. And then as it got further down, I started adding gray and Coquette and had just a hint of the brown color. Does that make sense? So as you're transitioning, your eyebrow color transitioning too. Now, for those that don't know what their eyebrows are going to be like, if your hair is still short, I mean, not short, but the gray hasn't grown in that much, you're going to have to wait a little bit and see. Your eyebrows, for a few, remain dark their whole lives while their hair turns gray. Wonderful. Just work with it. But for most of us, we have eyebrows that become sparse. They lose their texture and they lose their color. So you end up with kind of a gray nondescript. So that's where you have the choice to put in whatever you want. Whatever works best with your hair in that case, I think is the right way to go, Rita. Hope that answers your question. Okay, where am I now? Let me see. Okay, Sharon, I missed part. Where are we here? I missed part of this. I'm going to rewatch. Yes, and you can rewatch as many times as you like, folks. That's the beauty of video tutorials. It's just wonderful. Okay, and from Elaine. Hi, Sharon. What application do you recommend for deep set eyes? Well, you can, mine used to be deep set, but, as time is marching on, like when I really relax my face, you can see how I'm losing that. So it depends on where you are. I find with deep set eyes, aging deep set eyes, and for most women, I think keeping the eye around here lightened up is essential, because we tend to darken up in here quite a bit, and of course other places on our face, especially down the center where the elements get to it. Brightening the eyes is a huge thing at this stage. Not as much as it was when we were younger, excuse me. But at this stage, yes. Now, if you're wanting to color and put an eyeshadow on over top afterwards, brighten your eyes first and then add the color that you want over top. Does that make sense? You don't want to just go on bare. And of course, any eyeshadow should be applied over top of your dual finish powder that's been put right onto everything. Dual finish powder first. It acts like a sealant or a primer or whatever you want to call it. It acts as a good base to apply your eyeshadows to. So you could go with any color. And I'll tell you, I've been experimenting with my eyes, trying to see if I just colored my deep set eyes here, that were deep set, and went with that. I don't, you know, at this stage, it doesn't look as good as if I brighten my eyes instead and just concentrate on the crease. It takes a little bit of experimentation. And what I highly recommend is when you're experimenting with each setup you try, take some selfies. Take them really close, you know, look at the lens. Don't look down or to the side or look up or over here. Look right, find the lens on your camera and look right into the lens straight on. And that will give you the best view of how your eyes look to the world. So I hope that answers your question, Elaine. And what else do we have here? Rita Sharp. What is your opinion on eyelash serums? I find they make a lot of difference on mine. Well, it's interesting you should bring that up, Rita. As a matter of fact, my sister gave me, I'll show it to you, some Eye Envy here to try because she has very hooded eyes and has a difficult time trying to get some strength to her eyelashes. And she has difficulty after trying and trying and trying to wear false lashes. It's her dexterity with that sort of thing is not her strength. She has a whole bunch of others, but it's just one of them isn't there. So she bought this, she tried it, and I have to say, when I see her lashes, they look great. Now, she said she hasn't had any ill effects in any way, shape, or form. It hasn't bothered her vision in any way or anything like that. So she gave me some to try, and I've been trying them. I've been trying it. Now, yesterday, or whenever it was, I did a makeover for somebody yesterday, and we live streamed on the Going Gray page. And I didn't wear any eyelashes for that session. I just wore mascara. And I did a study. I looked at pictures of me with lashes and without. Guess what I'm wearing today? I'm back to wearing my lashes. And I'm going to do a video on how to curl your lashes while they're not on your face. And it helps to give a lift to the lashes. I think for some people that have already got some good lashes, it's good. Even for those that don't, I mean, I can see I've got some new hairs coming in. So you know, it seems to work great. And for some people it works fantastically well. Then there's some of us it works a little bit. So I personally, for me, would still wear my lashes, my false lashes. You may not have to, and that's wonderful. So that's my take on it currently, and I will do a video about this later. I've been taking pictures all along. Let's see, what else do we have? Lise Hardy. Well, I know that, however, many women have this problem, and it's difficult using cosmetics. Yes, it is. But again, I can't suggest anything medically. I'm not licensed to do so. Really, I'm not. So, you know, again, check out all those things and speak to your doctor about it. And then, you know, come back. And if you've done all that and you're still having problems or whatever, let's figure something out, okay? Let me see. Sharon Latour, is that clear mascara the eyeliner sealant? No. Clear mascara is clear mascara. Eyeliner sealant is eyeliner sealant. They're two separate products. Eye Comfy, hello, hello, Linda Comfort here. Hi, Linda, nice to see you. And let's see, Erica Marr. Sharon, I have only ever heard of eyebrow or eyeliner sealants here on your channel. Where can I find it? Well, actually, Sephora sells them, and the one I prefer, although, you know, I've had a few in my kit, so I'm going through them, is the Cinema Secrets. Cinema Secrets makes very good products, and they're all online. They're all online. So that's where I check, either Sephora or Cinema Secrets, and just Google it. But Cinema Secrets is my favorite. Hope that helps. And Eye Comfy. Do you need primer for eyebrows too? No, not at all. If you put your dual finish powder foundation on, as I've described in other videos and in live streams and everything else, if you put that on, that acts to me like a primer. And I've played around with primers. I'm personally not a fan. To me, they tend to clog up a little bit. It's an extra layer, and when it comes to touching up, then you've got an extra thing to deal with. I just find that the dual finish powder does everything you need it to. If you make sure your eyes and your brows are covered. Look, my brows, when you see pictures of me, it might be 4 pictures, yeah, and I'm sure you have in the foundation. Take a look at the 4 cornerstones. Right there you can see my eyebrows are on the thin side. I thicken them up. I add, now this brow especially, I have to add a lot more at the front end and on the top because this is all false in here, and it's a bit false here too. But I just add I don't even use eyeliner sealant on my eyebrows. I don't need to, because I find that they stay all day with the eyeshadow, or not the eyeshadow, the foundation, dual finish powder foundation underneath. So that's how I feel about that. And Kathy, let's see what Kathy has to say here. I will just say that taking the selfies as you described is truly eye-opening. I thought my right eyebrow was too high. I found it was the left. Yes! Thank you, Kathy. So often, you know why that is? Because when we see ourselves in the mirror, ladies, we see a reversed image of ourselves. We're reversed. When we see ourselves in the selfie or on video, that's the way we look. That's the way the world sees us. So it's a bit disconcerting at first to try to figure this all out. That's why selfies are really, really helpful. And they're cheap. They cost nothing. So thanks for sharing that, Kathy. And Luther Brooks, hi, how are you today? Rita Sharp, enjoyed the session, have to go. Bye, talk to you later. Okay. Sherry Linzer, let's see. I love wearing makeup. I'm 70, and when I make my face, I feel and look so much better, which makes me feel happier. Look your best and go with more confidence. Absolutely, Sherry. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for that. So I have a couple of questions here that may interest you folks. One is from Carrie Bishop. I'm so glad I found you. This is a wonderful, great trip. You said your eye pencil was Pebble. Now that's on one of my other videos. I really, really like the color. I know it's 2018 and this video must have been done in 2013, but can you remember the brand and exact color? I don't see it listed. I don't use eye pencil anymore, Carrie, because I find that you can't get the right colors in eye pencils, and that includes Anastasia, or as they like to say, Anastasia. It's Anastasia. They don't have the right colors for gray. They're grays and taupes. The taupes are too yellow. The carbon is too dark. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. And when we get older, we have to take a much lighter approach to our eyebrows. Some of these tattoo eyebrow pencils that they have now, I think Maybelline is one, and there's a couple of others where there's like 3 little prongs that you can apply with. They look great, except the product is way too heavy for this age and stage. So I hope that answers your question, Carrie. And let's see, where are we? We have another one here. Linda Mosier, question, for the eyeliner on the upper lid, do you use powder or cream? Your brush draws out a darker line than I do, or do you wet your brush? I'm sort of new at doing this. Thank you. Okay, Linda, for your eyeliner on your upper lid. Linda, I just use the eyeshadow and the flat-edged angled brush. Really. You know why I like it? Because I can soften it up if I want to, or I can keep it defined. Now at this stage, defined is a little bit too it's too harsh for us. So what I do is put it on, and then when I'm putting the crease on and a little bit of stuff, I blend it out just a little bit. So that's the approach I take. I hope that helps. And again, I think it's better. Oh, we have Carrie Bishop again. I was interested to watch you put on your makeup seemingly effortlessly. I was noticing when you are putting on false lashes, you said mash your own lashes with the false lash and the glue. What happens when you take your false lashes off? Meaning, does your own lashes come off also at the same time? Because I don't want that to happen to me. Excuse me. When I say mash, yes, I take my lash after I put them on and I squeeze together. Squeeze together and squeeze together. What that does is it pulls your own natural lashes up with the false lash so it looks like one. When I remove it, I just take the edge and peel it off. Never do I have one of my lashes come with it. That's why I like the Duo glue and the Krylon glue, and I'm going to be experimenting with the Kiss glue. And they are latex glues. I've experimented with the non-latex. The non-latex is great, but it's hard to get that glue off the lashes, the false lashes, that is. It's just hard to, it holds well, but it's hard to get off. But if you powder your lash line, make sure and that's another reason why I wear eyeliner. And sometimes after I put my lashes on, you can't see the eyeliner anymore because it's underneath the lash. When your eyes are powdered and free of oil, and the glue you've put on is tacky, it will stick, and when you squeeze together, you stick it even more. So it should wear very well. Hope that answers your question. Okay, and we have, should I purchase, from Patricia Hunter, should I purchase dark brown or black gel liner? That's a good question, Patricia. You can do both. I have both. Some days I want to be a little bit more browny tone. Some days I want to be a little bit black. Black is more intense, so I would use that for more intense situations. Brown is better for kind of daytime-ish. What I do actually, I have the gel fluid line by MAC in black that gets applied with a brush. But I have the Annabelle Smoothliner pencil in a brown, and I heat that under the hot water tap and use that for the day. It's a little bit less intense than the black, and it works for daytime. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, and let's see, do we have anything else here? We have one from iComfy. What about eyeglasses, shapes, and color? Well, me personally, I see glasses as a part of your face, especially if you're wearing them all the time. They can be a fashion accessory as a second pair, let's say. It depends on how often you have to wear yours. I have to wear mine to read or to see, certain things, and there's times when I don't need to wear them at all. But as far as frames are concerned, I think classic is best. I know that cat eye right now is popular. Personally, I'm not a fan of the cat eye. If you take a look at the movie Steel Magnolias in the wedding scene, you'll see a number of cat eye glasses there, and you'll see what I mean. I don't think they enhance the face like they need to. The glasses shouldn't be your fashion statement when you're putting it all together, okay? Think of it more as part of who you are. Does that make sense? At least that's my approach to it. In my own glasses, as an example, they're thin, like they're sort of kind of modern. Their rectangle seems to suit more people's faces. And they fit for the width of them fits my eye, and they sit on my eye properly. And with my crooked, I have one ear that sits higher than the other. They're easy for me to adjust. So, and keeping them a plain color, like a soft black or a pewter, is. Like when I'm not wearing makeup, I can put my glasses on and it gives me instant contrast because they're a soft black. They work with my hair. When when I'm wearing my makeup, they don't interfere with my makeup. They don't, you know what I mean? I don't have, you can even see, even with my makeup on, when I add my glasses, it gives just a little bit more weight and strength, but I don't have a really thick frame. And I don't have any pattern, any color on the frame. That's just my personal choice. Now, I can just wear drugstore readers. I'm fortunate that way. But if you have to have prescriptions, then I would get a classic a shape and color. And you can always have a second or third pair that are colorful, that are more like a fashion accessory or whatever. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, and let me see, we have Charlene Hatfield here. Hi, Sharon, I get a good mirror and travel with it, right? What do you use? I simply just use, romper, stomper, bomper, boo. Tell me who has a birthday today? For those that remember Romper Room, my sister does. I just use a hand mirror like this, and of course, in my makeup bag that is, you've seen this many times before. This is all I use if I'm traveling. And I have this broken down old, perfect, because it's light, it travels well, it fits into anything. That's what I use. Now, for my purse, I have a 5-inch magnifying mirror that I carry in my travel, makeup bag for when I'm out doing whatever. Hope that answers your question. And Sharon Latour says for glasses, she got black. Charcoal. It's not as black. Yes, bravo. Good choice, in my opinion. Okay, so let me see. Sharon Latour says, the above comment is for gel liners. Sorry to confuse you. No problem. No confusion. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any more. Oh, we do? Yeah. I think, let me see what Kathy says. Rolling on the floor laughing. I remember Romper Room. Okay, good. Glad I gave somebody a laugh here today. That's good. That's good. Well, it seems like we have no questions. Now, remember, if you have questions or you are searching for something, remember to just go on the page, the YouTube channel page. There's a box there to search anything you want, and there's playlists. And if you go into the playlists, they're all labeled for you, and you can just play, and they play one after another for those that like to binge watch. And for those that, the YouTube channel at the top there, for those that like to follow my advocacy work, I have another channel, Sharon Downey Advocacy. So please remember to share and subscribe, because I'm not monetized. I get no benefit. I get nothing. So it's harder to share the channel. So if you could share with your friends, if you like what you see, then please do so. And if you're looking for make betters, the pay it forward make betters, I can do them on either my Sharon Danley beauty page, which is public, or the Going Grey and Loving It Facebook page, which is private for femmes only. So this week's quote: beauty comes in all sizes, not just size 5. Roseanne, oy vey, we won't go there. Anyway, ladies, thanks so much. And again, if you have any questions that haven't been answered, please feel free to post them, and I will endeavor to answer them very quickly, or I will be putting them on the next live stream that we have. And remember, next week is a video. The week after that is live stream, live at 11. Thanks so much. Mwah. Have a wonderful weekend.